Let me see if I've done this right. I think I have, for a change. I've actually given someone the right name. Yes, perfect. Right. Welcome to the Immaterial Gamers live cast. Except if you're watching this or listening to it elsewhere after the day, it's welcome to the Immaterial Gamers Podcast. My name is Ryan. I am not Terry. I am British, and I'm joined by D.
Also British.
Yeah. Also British. So if I don't sound as hyperactive and as crazy as I was last week, well, we'll have to get over it. So last week it was myself, Terry, and Duncan.
Okay.
And we were talking. We spent a good 2/3 of the podcast talking about my trip to the wrestling show that me and Martin went to. Saw pro wrestling. We saw First Reign, and I had a little bit of a cough and a sore throat, and I put it down to being at a wrestling show for 4 hours and shouting all night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a relatively logical
Conclusion.
Monday, yeah, all right. Gained a bit more of a cough. It was a little bit annoying. Did the Spooktober stream of Immortality. My God, that is a weird ass game, and we will be back on that. If you're watching this live, it'll be back on tomorrow. Sorry, D.
I want more Resident Evil.
Yeah, well, you get to do more Resident Evil at some point. But not tomorrow night at 9 p.m. because I'm afraid
I might clone Sally.
Ah, fair enough. So Tuesday morning last week, I woke up and it's safe to say, feeling like shit was an understatement. For my manager, I just go, I'm feeling like shit. I'll be back in possibly tomorrow. Because it was just like, alright, I'm obviously just not feeling great from the show. Get a night's sleep, or get like a day's sleep, just sweat it out. That'll be all great. And I thought at that point, you know what I'll do? Just to be safe. And the reason why I was going to say just to be safe. There was someone at the pay-per-view, or the show. We don't know who it was. But there was and I think Martin can back me up on this, there was a over-the-top whiff of menthol or eucalyptus. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, there we go. As Martin said. It's more I'm backing Martin up at this point because he brought the attention. And to be fair, I smelled it after that fact. It was just like, do you smell like eucalyptus? I'm like, yeah. Someone's ill and should not be here. Because if you're whiffing that much of menthol and eucalyptus, you are hiding a pretty savage cold. At the minimum. Not, or worse, it could be COVID. Lo and behold, I took a lateral flow test that same Tuesday morning, and within half an hour there, I was phoning my manager back to tell him I tested positive.
I take it my manager's like, oh, okay.
My manager, to be fair, my manager's pretty sweet when it comes to that. It's like, are you not feeling well? No. Alright, no worries, just let me know when. Spending the rest of the week telling him, yeah, it's getting worse until Friday, where it's like, it's starting to get better. I'm now actually able to look at, light without immediately thinking that I'm a fucking vampire.
I have that all the time, more or less.
Oh no, it was like a headache. It was just a constant pulsing headache. It was just like,
oh, migraine.
No, it wasn't like a migraine, but it wasn't. But still, yeah. So the conclusion that we've got to is whoever was going around smelling of that herbal.
Mm.
Not that herb, but that herbal. Had COVID and decided, fuck it, I'm not missing this opportunity. So they went to the show, spread it like the plague. A lot of people didn't get out of this very well. A lot of people had got from the show feeling really crummy. One of the talent included. I saw a tweet from Commander Sterling saying that they had to sort of like cancel training for their next show that was happening in Preston this weekend, because they felt like death. But they didn't have COVID. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Honestly, it's just mad. So yeah, that's why I've spent my week feeling sorry for myself. Just to confirm on that, Martin then tested later on in the week and managed to. I don't know how. Well, it started off with him having a faint, COVID line and all, and then a couple of days later he tested again and he got a.
You're about.
It was about as solid as it could be line.
Ah.
So.
Congratulations, you're pregnant.
Pregante. No, so yeah, spent my days feeling sorry for myself, and that then leads to what I've played. Because when you have nothing but time, you might as well play a game, right? And
I've been bashing 11 Daylights out of Deathloop.
We will get to you in your progress through Deathloop. In fact, actually, no, how about this? You start with your discussion of Deathloop. Have you talked about this on the podcast before? Good, it's nice to see your memory is intact.
Probably not.
Okay.
So I haven't been on the podcast for a few weeks, have I?
You haven't. I think I've talked about Deathloop though, so we can skip the what's Deathloop about, all that business.
The whole day thing.
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah. I mean, let's say check a couple of podcasts ago, we talked about Deathloop. Everyone's played Deathloop now. D has played Deathloop.
I've played it to death almost.
You've played it to death, Loop. So, yeah, I'm gonna do it, D. I'm gonna do it. That's right.
But no, well, basically, I've got to the point where I've completed all the storyline, so I've done the final loop twice.
Right.
The only thing left is if I want to nitpick and do achievements that take like 0.014 players have got this.
Right, and I know you, so you've been trying it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Out of all the bosses, there's one boss I can't get the unique achievement for.
Right.
That's Wenji.
Okay. So
you have to kill all. You have to kill all 15 Wenjis in 90 seconds.
Oh no! I'm off. I'm off. See ya. Nope.
I've done every other one of them. I've got their special death, along with their like permanent death thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only other thing I need to do at some point, if I want to do all the achievements, I need to play as Julia.
Right, and ruin people's days.
Well, it links to the game. What I was going to say is, if you play in Deathloop.
Yeah, I know what you'd be looking to try and do.
Get my fucking achievements out. Because that's the only way you can get most of a couple of achievements, and Colt's costumes, you have to PvP for it.
We should explain on this that generally you can. It has an online component, but you can play single player. And
single player is Colt. Yeah, the single player is Colt. Julia is PvP.
Well, no, I mean, you can set the server to single player. So
yeah, you can. But you can't do for Colt.
Is what this coward here, I'm pointing at myself, does. Because
that's what I pretty much do. I've set mine to friends only.
She has a particular set of rules, if I remember on this, is that she can't invade a map. So the idea is this: as Colt, you're trying to break this loop of time.
She only invades with a visionary.
That's what I was about to get to, but I was just sort of going backwards a little bit and just giving on the ideas. Like, yeah, you've got to break this loop. but players can invade the game, or the AI, but it follows a certain set of rules, like Dee said. The bosses of the game are called visionaries, and if you can only invade maps that have a visionary in them, there's another rule as well. She can that's it. She can only invade a map 3 times per loop as well, or something along that sort of idea. So she can't just keep harassing you. But that can come in 2 ways: either as an NPC or by another player. Just
playing as Julia.
Yeah, because I've done the beginning part of her storyline, which is basically she just sat there feeling sorry for herself, and another version of her says she's found Colt, and then she just goes in just like, all right, cool, I'll just travel through multiple dimensions to take on multiple Colts and fuck him up.
Yeah, it's basically it's basically Julia. There's other bits about Julia that you find out as you go on, like near the end.
Yeah,
you kind of find out
mostly the reason
what
why
her beef
she's
is.
so pissed off with Colt.
Yeah. But yeah, Julia's actual ability is called Masquerade.
Yeah, she can
She can
basically pull an
impersonate anyone.
Assassin's Creed. She can
She can wear anyone as a face, including Colt. That's one of the achievements.
But you see, what I'd have to understand is, as Colt, if I saw Juliana just come in as Colt, I should be immediately suspicious.
But yeah, if you want any things on how to get each boss, I know how to do everything.
I think I might get around to it. I think it's like Deathloop's currently at the moment it's my chill game. Like if I really don't want to do anything else in the day, which is weird considering something like Deathloop.
Well, in Deathloop, it's how am I going to kill myself today?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, how am I gonna screw everything up this week?
The thing I'm only doing now with Deathloop as well is all the nitty gritty crap. So following all the little breadcrumbs and everything.
Yeah. Because that was the other thing, wasn't it? It's like these breadcrumbs give you sort of hints on how to basically maximize the loop or give you alternate ways of...
I've had to read a couple of wikis and a couple of other things because I was like, don't get it.
Because in essence, Deathloop is one giant puzzle game masquerading as a first-person stealth.
It was how to get Charlie's death. His unique death, sorry.
Right.
Because there's 2 ways you can kill Charlie. There's 2 Charlie deaths that you need to do. Charlie's unique death on his own. What is to get him to kill himself? Well, get the others to kill him.
Huh.
You have to get the AI. You have to get 2-bit to be a traitor.
I see. Which is weird because I've liked how some things have gone down. I mean, you look at the world of Borderlands, and there's a method behind the madness. Don't worry, I'll get to it in a minute. So you look at something like Borderlands, where everyone's all gone crazy and native because the big corporation that wanted to dig for treasure just pulled out and just left everyone there, and they all went native and went crazy. Then you look at something like Bulletstorm, the game Bulletstorm, where it's like, oh, everyone went native and went crazy because of a military training exercise that only allowed you to get fed and reloaded as a military personnel by performing flashy kills. So it's like the ability to live on this planet was on a points-based system. And then you look at Deathloop, which is people have managed to find an anomaly on an island that allows them to live the same day over and over again but retain their memories.
Well, the only people that retain memories, there's 4 people in total.
Colt, Juliana.
Colt, Juliana, 2-bit does.
Right.
And there's a character in The Rock that you Pike.
Right.
Is an NPC.
But there's everyone knows at that point that they cannot die because of the whole complex security system that they've got in place in order to prevent the loop from breaking, which is to kill every visionary at the same time
The only other one that
before the
knows
loop
about
resets.
the only other one that knows kind of what's going on is Wenji, because she
Mm.
goes, Colt and Juliana are different,
Mm.
and if we've picked up on that, and the fact that what Wenji now does is there's 15 of them, they're all Wenji.
Yeah,
They're just from different timelines.
yeah. But still, so there's this idea, and the weird thing on this is, like, rather than an experiment on how they could use this time loop effectively, they just party.
Well, to the rest of the NPCs, it's the first day. They're Groundhog Day in it. They don't know.
Yeah.
To
I
them,
guess,
it's
but
just day one.
ish.
Let's have a party.
Yeah.
Wenji knows. There's only basically the visionaries that will know that something's up.
Yeah, but I mean, again, even at that point, the visionaries have this whole thing to experiment on how to,
And the only one
effectively
that
use
even
time. But they
tries.
don't even try.
The only one that actually is trying is Wenji. The rest of them don't care.
Yeah. So
And you find out why. They don't care, meaning they forget. They basically all have amnesia.
Yeah.
Except for Wenji.
Meh.
And that's
Anyway.
what happens to Colt, effectively. Colt forgets eventually.
But meh. That's that. So that's your Deathloop experience. So for me,
And then I've been doing my Resident Evil.
yes, the Resident Evil Spooktober playthroughs has started. It started on Saturday, didn't it not? Yeah, it was
Friday,
Saturday because we didn't do it. We didn't do a stream yesterday because I wasn't well enough to do RPM
Podcast.
streams and
I thought the podcast was going to happen. So
podcast. So yeah, for me, I played a rhythm game. It's a rhythm game I couldn't tell you the name of. Taiko. Yeah, here we go. Not that one. What series? It says it's called the Taiko no Tatsujin series. Where you basically, the rhythm game is that you're a taiko drum. You know, the old Japanese drums with the skins and the clicky
okay.
wooden blocks. But I ended up getting the one that played on Game Pass. So that's
Okay.
Taiko no Tatsujin, the Drum Master, and it's pretty simple controls. If you've got a pad, if you've got a taiko drum, it's probably a bit more complicated. But I don't know how you managed to get a taiko drum working on an Xbox. So so we got this pad as a demonstration, and there's only two types of beats on a pad on the game. There's red notes and blue notes.
Okay.
That's it. Sometimes there's bits where you have to drum roll or pop a balloon or open up a confetti ball, a disco ball thing, but the controls are all pretty much the same. So your red beats on a standard controller either by pressing, let me just think, A and B. No, it's not A and B. X and A, or down and right. They're your red notes. For your blue notes, it's up and left, or Y and X. B and X, or the bumpers and triggers. And they're your normal notes. But then they do big versions of the notes. So if it's a red note, you have to push down and A, or any of those combinations of buttons I was telling you about. And for the big blue buttons, it's up and a trigger, or Y, or whatever. Big combinations. You can change the controls if you want, but there's a lot complex and difficult to play for something that only has functionally two notes. Because turns out they want to put a lot of finger pushing on it. In the arcade, you don't get a pad. You get a giant oversized drum with a couple of wooden blocks.
Oh, okay.
You playing an actual taiko drum. It's a bit like Donkey Konga, where you actually played proper conga drums. So, yeah. But I enjoyed it. I was enjoying it, and it was nice. Some of the songs are weird, because it can go from... There's types, there's Vocaloid music, pop music. It has a song that I refuse to play in fucking October because it's got a cover of Last Christmas.
Oh god.
So yeah, no, not happening, not happening at all. There's that. There's anime music in there. There's Cha La He Chala,
Oh,
Dragon
Dragon Ball.
Ball Z.
Yeah.
Cha
Chala.
La He
Hey.
Chala.
The
There's
Japanese cover for
there's
the
classic
intro for
music.
Z.
There's classical music. Like The Entertainer,
I played that at work. I played that at placement last week.
Ah, there you go.
Well, I
Yeah.
have to think cafe. I got told you can play whatever music you want, but it has to fit in the theme of the cafe.
Do 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 bum 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 bum.
I did do that once.
You could go with elevator music. Do 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 do
Well,
do
it's
do
anything.
do do do.
Oh, we have Spotify, so it's anything Spotify.
Uh,
So the other ones like a lot of pop seems to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's not heavy metal or anything like that. Because if you go off of my headset, it would be heavy metal. But and I tried Nightcore, and they went no.
Where did you in any way think that that's a music that you play at a cafe?
It was upbeat. I said, make sure it's upbeat. Nightcore is upbeat.
Is it? Is it really?
Got them. What its tempo is.
I mean, there'd be nothing worse. Like, hi, welcome to our relaxed cafe. How can you? Something that's a part of me. Just having Freak on a Leash by Korn playing in the back. So yeah, I'll have a small latte to go, please. So, but yeah, so I played that, and there's stuff in there. I have to get used to the fact that I've got to play a couple of songs a day. It's not designed to be played like a rock band experience of
Go through this massive
going
tour.
from all. Yeah, because the way that it does is that every day, a couple of the songs will have bonus coins that you get by completing it, and then you can use those coins to buy songs, which then refresh every day. And I'm sort of just holding off on trying to wait for a day where something decent gets played, because there's a lot of Japanese music that I don't know, and I should give it a try. But then sometimes you'll get the melody you'll get the theme tune to Ridge Racer Type 4 from 1997. So, sometimes you buy that, or you get the battle medley from Tales of Arise, the most recent Tales game. Or
see, the one I know
Pac-Man
for the
medley. Yeah. So.
But I was gonna say the one from Tales that I know the most is Tales. Was it White Light from Zestra? The intro bit. It's the intro to Tales of Zestra, where it does the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I still said I should be down. I should re-download Tales of Symphonia. I think I've got the Tales of Symphonia collection on my Steam.
I have them all on Steam. I have all of them. I think I've got.
Whoops, not Talks.
No, I don't have all of them now. I have Zestra, Symphonia, and
Tales of Symphonia.
Just Colette.
Cheese, tomato, lemon,
and Lloyd.
cucumber. And Lloyd. See, I was trying to remember if, like, Tales of Symphonia, like, the online... Let's have a look at the store page. Trying to remember if it was the one, if it was just the original, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. First time on Steam, based on the PlayStation 3 port of the original GameCube game.
Yeah. Because we played on GameCube.
We did.
As a group.
I still enjoyed it. It's a shame.
I was Rain, I think.
I spent all my day as Lloyd, and was it Steph that was playing as
you were Lloyd.
Genus.
Yes, was Genus. I was Rain.
And then Martin played as whatever character was the fourth person.
Colette or whatever.
Yeah. But because Martin ended up playing like the fourth character as the situation deemed fit. Yeah. Power Hammer, worst move ever. No, it wasn't Power Hammer that was the worst move ever. It was the one that should just cause her to fucking fall flat on her face.
Oh, that was a steal.
Yeah. But was it? Yeah, I keep actually forgetting actually that we figured that out, that she does that on purpose, doesn't she? She pretends that she she eats shit because she's a klutz. But they turned the fact that she eats shit into a thief move.
Yeah, it was her. I'm going to steal stuff. It was.
Whoops! Wham!
The other one is when she does it through the wall at the beginning in the school, and it's just a Colette-size hole.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah.
You go back and then patch it up.
They patched it up with wood, and yet you still see the Colette-sized
hole.
in there. So remind me. Re-download Tales of Symphonia. It'd be weird. It would be weird playing Tales of Symphonia and not having the ability to just have 3 other people just
control the other AI in the battle bit. You walk around as Lloyd.
Yeah.
You have to walk around as Lloyd all the time.
And that's what they do. But yeah, no, that's what they took out of like Tales of Arise. Is that there's no multiplayer functionality at all in it, which is a slight shame. But it looked like, with the way that they were trying to improve the systems to have more to do as a human, it didn't work as much to have more people in it, which is still a shame. But I still recommend Tales of Arise. Right.
This one. Oh, sorry, that one.
Well, my right or your right? How about A or B?
So is that A, that B?
Yes. In that case, B.
That one.
Yeah.
Slash colour.
Yeah.
I'm going to be colouring in solid, that's all.
Yeah. Let's move on to another game I played. And my God, I think I might have explained this to you, but for the benefit of the podcast, I'll explain it further as well. So there's a little RPG about anthropomorphic cats taking on anthropomorphic dogs, called Fuga, Melodies of Steel. A game involving a bunch of children driving a giant fuck-off tank.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't mind actually playing Cat 2 with someone at some point, but no one wants to play.
I'm not a fan of Cat Quest. I know who this. I looked at it, it's like, no, not for me. Not for me. He says, and he's now, because apparently what Ryan needs to do to play a game involving anthropomorphic cats taking on anthropomorphic dogs is add a World War II allegory to it. Yeah, I see you're about to be confused there, D.
Yeah. The other thing I won't mind playing at some point with a group is something like Days, like Spooktober, but that has to be played as a group. On your own, that does not work.
Yeah. Not really a fun thing. Hey, Monster Road Trip comes out in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, okay.
Next monster game.
I've tried playing, what was it, Monster 2?
Monster Camp. Mm-hmm.
I've only ever got one successful date.
I can't believe I got my first successful date during the Tuesday special.
Because it was what was it?
Oh no, it wasn't the Tuesday special. No, I failed on that one. It was the one that we did we played OG Monster Prom.
But what was it? It was the green person and the blue person. Damien's was the worst one I ever had. He went to the prom with me to punch me in the face.
Oh, that was a special ending, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pissed off Damien that bad. He went to the thing, but he just dragged me into the parking lot and punched my face in.
That sounds like Damien. But yeah, looking forward to Monster Road Trip because it is a co-optional. It is co-op, but there is a competitive element to it. Because the idea is that it looks like you're going to be going on a road trip with Polly and Scott.
Scott's the dumb one, isn't it?
Hey,
Polly's the ghost.
Don't have Andrew hearing you disparage Scott.
He's Scott is thick as 2 short planks.
But he's lovable and thick as 2 short planks.
And Polly's
those
the ghost
two short planks that they use to barricade the Colette hole.
And Polly's the drug ghost thing.
Yes, she's the she's the ghost who wants to take part in all the vices because she's a ghost.
Yep.
And so she
can't kill her twice.
Yeah. Not gonna overdose again, are you?
Well, it's like was it Liam and Polly in the lunchroom?
Oh, we don't talk about Liam. He's boring.
No, they were in the lunchroom together, and they wouldn't let him out until they ate all their food.
That's a slight problem. Polly can't eat, and Liam's a vampire, so
he doesn't eat.
Well, I mean, technically, if you look at the rules of something like Vampire the Masquerade, I've learnt by watching a set of loading ready run streams called Not a Drop to Drink: A Tale of Vancouver Island by Night. There's a discussion on that one of the vampires just can't help the fact that he's a vampire, so still eats human food. But as a vampire in the world of Vampire the Masquerade, if you eat human food, it doesn't go anywhere. You're dead as a vampire.
Yeah.
You have no digestion system. So there's only one way food you eat is coming back out. And one of the characters just cannot help but still want to eat a hamburger.
Yep.
It's just madness. But anyway, so where were we? Fuga, horrifying story, World War II allegory. So yeah, you're a bunch of children who've had their parents taken away from them. They live in a nondescript, not French village. And their parents have been kidnapped by a bunch of fascist dogs called the Berman Army. They're not German. Honestly, they're Berman. So the idea is that you go through encounters on a roguelike style track in this giant tank, and the children can all speak to each other and learn, get friends with each other and learn special attacks. They can end up being slotted into the cannons of this giant tank. Three different types of attack. You got a cannon, which is the all-round attack. No, it's not. It's the grenade launcher is the all-round. It's not too slow, not too fast. Deals a moderate amount of damage. You got the cannon, which is slow but deals a lot of damage. And then you got the machine gun, which is very fast but doesn't deal shit all damage. And there's various different ways of using the combinations of children in these tanks in order to provide the best solutions to destroying the dirty Berman hordes. But what it has is probably the most horrifying mechanic in a video game. And I don't mean that in like a scary, scary gore, blood and guts mechanic in the game. No. I mean this. You can die at any point or like during any battle. And if it's a normal battle, you'll die and you can restart from the previous checkpoint or whatnot. Boss battles are different. You can still die, but once you get to half HP or lower, you get the option to just skip the boss battle. I think I've explained this to you and Steph, but I'm going to explain it to the audience as well as the stream. So you get a function called the Soul Cannon, and the Soul Cannon allows you to you've basically just said you've cried uncle, it's time to move on, you want to carry on with the game, just one-shot the boss. And the game goes, that's fine. Choose a child. Why? Choose a child. They will fire the Soul Cannon and skip that boss. Don't worry about it. And you learn this in the tutorial, so it's like, alright, I'll choose this character. They don't seem to have been getting along with the rest of the other children. It's fine. Right, cool. We're now going to kill that child so you can skip this boss. Pardon, fuck?
They just say it's a soul, Connor.
I mean, yeah, and it's just like, oh yeah, it requires a life, and I'm like, all right, no, I thought that mean they put a life in it to fuel it. It's like, no. They go in, we absorb them, Soylent Green style, and then just fire them out at a boss and instantly kill them. I was like, cool, right, I beat the boss. Yeah, you've now also lost the kid. So, the whole idea of this game at this point, but so far, after that tutorial and that forced use of the system, so far, I've gone about 4 levels in now, or 4 chapters in. I've been able to figure out the mechanics of each boss to the point that I haven't needed to sacrifice one of my like children that I'm trying to keep safe to get them with their parents. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a depressing ending if I kill one of them, and then it's just like, oh, the children reunite with their parents, apart from the parents of one child who was brutally smeared along the fucking outer shell of a tank. You know, so there's that mechanic's in there, and other than that horrifying thought that makes me, I guess it makes me feel like, right, I need to do whatever I can to keep these precious balls of fur alive. So that all comes along, and yeah, I'm enjoying it, but that's always going to be in my mind, and it's going to be sort of oof. So right, we've got less than 20 minutes to go, so let's play a game of how quickly can we get through the news?
Okay. I was going to say, was it Wordle? Or Wordle or whatever?
It's not Lordle, no. I've got news.
Okay.
I've got news, and I'll post the first link in here. This one's from Eurogamer, but it did end up on another couple of sites as well. So, have you heard of a device called the Steam Deck?
Vaguely.
It's basically a portable console that you can play Steam games on. It's really popular. People have to pre-order it. No normal human that's not like a gaming influencer kind of has one yet.
Okay.
Minus a few other people. And it's great. You can play all these Steam games on there. It's designed that, that there's a huge list of games that can be played on this portable device. So Valve wanted to show off a promotional video for the Steam Deck.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in this promotional video, at the time, there was there's no other way of saying this. There was a Nintendo Switch emulator lurking in the library. We're going to show off this great device to play all these PC-capable games, and also Pokemon Violet. So
I'm gathering thing you weren't happy about that.
Well, it was Valve's own promotional video, and Nintendo wouldn't be happy. So, I mean, the thing is on this is that, so the emulator is called Yuzu, and let's be honest, emulators are legal to a point. So they're legal for you to use to emulate games you own on other devices. You know, I know, everyone else knows that people use emulators to play games they don't own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People have done it all the time. I'm not saying that, that somewhere in this house there is a computer that's running EPSX 2 with a copy of Shadow Hearts Revenant on it. Or Covenant, even. You see, it's not me, because I didn't even know the name of the game. But, yeah. So, yeah, it's a topic that's... Because you know that if someone's got Yuzu on there, they wouldn't be playing it for that. So, yeah, the video is now being re-uploaded without the image of the clear Nintendo Switch emulator being on there. I mean, they are absolutely mental as well. D, you'd like a Steam Deck, yeah? Say you were just given one, or you were told you could have one for just a small cost. Yeah, £349 for a 64GB model. £569 for a half terabyte model. And let's just think of it this way: you wouldn't be getting massive. I mean, I don't know what considered. Yeah, you're not going to get a big game on there. I mean,
one of on the 64.
One of their screenshots shows Tales of Arise, and I can absolutely guarantee you that wouldn't end up on the base model. It's like 75 gig.
But like Deus Ex or anything like that. No. Any big games?
Yeah.
Lego game, sure.
But that's more Steam Deck things. And to be honest, I'm not like having the idea of wanting to go out and play a giant. I'm not there to play PUBG on the tram. So it's not for me, but I can understand. You were talking about Loldal though, D, and Terry's talked about AI art, and I know and I understand this. AI art or AI generated art is dickish. It is, there are people who could really do with not trying to put actual artists out of business by getting AI to copy other people's art and then change a couple of features and then say, oh yeah, it's brand new. So, but someone has made a Wordle-style game, according to PC Gamer, a Wordle-like game where you can guess prompts by the images it is created.
Okay.
So, it's called Doorleadle, because we've heard about Doorly, the one where you can enter a prompt and it generates 9 images. So it's that in reverse. It will give you an image and you have to try and guess what prompt it's
Okay.
It was made. So I'm just gonna have a quick check of this. I'm not gonna the RSV on what? Ah, right. You do get to see. Go with A.
Crap.
Ah, there she is. There's the Sally. For those watching, for those not watching, there's the Sally. So so it's more of a sort of a quiz where it shows you a couple of images and then says, out of these 4 quotes, which one was the correct one. So if you're liking to play Wordle but with Dolly images, then there you go. You can actually place it. You can also actually place it on the links in the stream as well. I just realised I haven't set the chat box up for my version of the podcast, but whatever. So glasp.co/Dawleedle, DALLEDLE. So that's that. Our last piece of news.
Okay.
You've heard of a small game called You've heard a small game by an indie developer called Blizzard.
Okay.
Called Overwatch. Yeah.
I've heard of Overwatch.
Yeah. So Blizzard and Activision Blizzard as a whole. There's no other way of saying this. They fucked up. What the fuck, Blizzard?
We haven't had one of those segments in a while.
No. Well, we have now. So, so last week, Overwatch 2 was officially released on Battle.net for the low price of free-to-play. But for the additional extras of battle passes up the wazoo.
Standard.
Like battle pass for every character, as well as battle pass for the game itself. Because that's how you do it. Of course, you got to make the money back,
Got a freaking dead pixel.
Yes, you do. You've had a dead pixel for a little bit. Sorry. But, so first mistake that I'd say that Blizzard done. As they launched Overwatch 2, they closed Overwatch. Wow. D's so shocked by that. They're not saying anything and just looking at the camera, just like, oh, really? Did they? Again? So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two. They required two-factor verification to log into the game. And you might be asking, wait, no, two-factor verification is a good thing. And you know what? You're right. But when your two-factor verification involves you having to have a mobile number of a contract-only phone in order to verify, that's a problem.
I don't know where it is. I don't know where my thing here is, but I've still got my thingy if I ever wanted to.
Oh,
My
yeah,
WoW one.
Yeah. So they've apparently changed that now, and it's now you no longer need phone verification if you already have a copy of Overwatch. Doesn't really solve the problem, but yeah, sure, we'll move on. Other stuff. How about this? People were getting tokens because that's what you've got to do to buy. Oh, D, you're so far off the screen now. It's insane. Sorry, there you go. Bring yourself in just slightly. There you are. Yeah, so, you get cosmetic tokens for playing games in a really grindy fashion. We expect that's free to play. It shouldn't be acceptable, but it's happening. Blizzard had accidentally had a bug in there that caused people to, you want to save up your tokens for a particular skin, yeah? Or a particular helmet for your character, or for a little dongle for your guns, or shit like that. Yeah, how about Overwatch 2 just automatically purchasing a skin once you've hit the threshold of a certain amount of tokens? Yeah. And then also giant ass queues.
Again, surprised.
Yeah, so Overwatch 2, just being a bit shit here. But I'd say the biggest, most egregious issue on this is that Overwatch 2, even though it went free to play, was supposed to have a story mode.
Okay.
Yeah, they seem to have fucking forgot about that. They said it was going to be there on release. It's now going to be later on down the line.
Again, not surprised.
Fucking Blizzard, honestly. However, I will have to say, there is a slight, one slight thing. Apparently, they still know how to make cutscenes. One of the new characters, Kiriko, has taken on a group of Yakuza in an apartment building by inhabiting the soul of a deaf child and allowing that deaf child to run at the Yakuza screaming with a giant fire axe.
Sure,
just find the video. It's probably the way to go. But yeah, that's Overwatch 2 for you, everyone. Apparently, might be a good game. It doesn't look like it.
I know.
Some people still want Overwatch,
Especially if you put all your time and money into Overwatch.
Yeah, well, part of that verification thing was supposed to then allow you to take, because this was the thing that I had was, wait, so you're just going to lose all that stuff that you paid for and earn in Overwatch 1? No, it's like, no, apparently if you verify, you get to carry it all over. Not that that's fully worked. You get the idea this doesn't always work properly. Oh dear.
And does it with Blizzard?
That's true. It's very true.
Especially early on, like when Shadowlands and stuff. Oh, actually, Shadowlands wasn't bad. Every one before Shadowlands, it's like, oh look, we've done this. Oh look, buggy as hell.
Probably because player counts hemorrhaged when during Shadowlands, particularly because that was also the expansion where shit went. Well, no, I mean that was the expansion that was released during the whole Blizzard.
Scandal.
Yes, the scandal. So, that's just how that works. Right, I guess it's time for us to wrap up then.
Okay.
Unless you've got anything else you'd like to say. Fair enough. So D's going to wrap up while I wrap up. Well done, D. So thank you for anyone that may have come in and lurked and watched the live podcast. But what I would say is that anyone that's listened,
wraps
thank you
up.
very much for listening. You could give us a subscribe and like and do all that business. We stream pretty much all week. So that's something to consider. And you can also listen to this podcast wherever podcasts are served. And, the podcast's
What is
always
it, sorbet?
Eh?
What is it, a sorbet?
Sorbet? Well, yeah, if you can eat it, sure. Everyone can eat a podcast. That's just how that works. And yeah, like I say, so the schedule for this week coming up. If you're watching this on Thursday when the podcast is released in VOD form, you already missed it. So Tuesday, on Tuesday, the not yet titled Monday night stream happens. Where I'm playing more Immortality and finding out what's going on with crazy film footage.
At some point, I want to really play some more Resident Evil.
So keep an eye out on that. Best way, follow us on Twitch. You'll know when we go live. That's an easy enough thing. And then Dee will play some more Resident Evil Revelations. Teamfight Thursdays will return on Thursday. Friday.
I know I tried to do the solo stream.
You played a lot of Aram, is what happened. So
I tried.
So that's how.
I knew everyone was feeling under the weather and whatnot, so I just thought
that was at my worst on the Thursday. So
I kind of pulled out Streamlabs and I just went, "Is this how you do it?" Assuming the last time I had it loaded up was the last October.
Is this a stream?
Well, yeah, it's why the first stream went. Oh, I didn't transition. I'm like,
yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're getting back up to it. You're getting back up to speed. That's how that is. Friday play session where we're looking at playing some sort of spooky game, depending on how many of us. It would either be Trivia Party, Trivia Murder Party, or Among Us, or both. Who knows? Depends if we can get numbers. So that's the aim.
If we haven't got numbers, we might have to do some more crawl or something.
Yeah, we'll just sort of look at something from there. And then
Saturday I don't want to play crawl without the Fringy Gods again. That was horrible.
Please taunt the gods. And then Saturday and Sunday will be role playing Not In Me Games, and that'll be all back from there. So have a good week. Have a good time, and thank you very much, Dee, for joining me on this unexpected podcast this week. And no, the podcast is expected. It was just unexpected that I would be hosting. Right, have a good one, and we will catch you next time. So from me and Dee, toodaloo.
Peace out.